Hello everyone, and this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling on August the 19th, 2015, and this was called the Turning Point Show. And, basically for the most part, outside of probably two segments of the show, I thought this was a really good show. They did some good storytelling in there throughout the entire night with EC3 and PJ Black. I liked where they went with it. And everything in that and everything that they did. And I'll get into that a little bit later. I'll start with the 2 points that I did not like about this show. The Mr. Anderson brand match. Reason being, just a dumb match. Dumb concept to the match in general. They did some pretty good spots in there, and I mean, in the general aspect of a no disqualification type match, it was pretty good. The aspect is that they called it an open mic challenge, where the microphone was suspended above the ring, and the first person to get to the microphone could use it as a weapon. No, bad match. Just bad, dumb concept to match. Because, I mean, you're already going on the aspect of just them doing no disqualification, which you had later on in the night with Eli Drake and Drew Galloway. But in this area of the match, like, okay, if you're gonna make it about the microphone, why not just have that be the only legal weapon? Basically, stick it to a spot that both guys could get to it without necessarily using another foreign object, and allow that to be the only object used. And I wish they would do this in wrestling in general more, instead of it just becoming a cluster of another fancy way of doing no disqualification by doing this. Like, okay, you call it, say, we'll leave it with the open mic challenge. You have that style of microphone, and you do it one of two ways. You can have the real fun with it and have them do what Mr. Anderson does to get the microphone, where he sticks his hand up in the air and it gets lowered to the ground. That would be something a little bit interesting, a little bit funny to it. Or you stick the microphone on something that they can get to without using other foreign objects. And the only foreign object that's allowed to be used is the microphone. Then it's actually conceivable. It's a little bit more believable. And it's like, oh, if they use a different type of weapon now, they have to cause disqualification. And this isn't just TNA in this aspect. This is all wrestling in general. I wish that would be the way that they would work it, instead of it just being another fancy way of them saying no disqualification in for any objects being used. This match was throwaway, not very good. But they did do some decent spots in there. I would say the plunge off of the apron through the table on the outside, that was a really good spot. They did take some very good spots inside the match. It's just the concept of the match was dumb. The story behind the match was dumb. It wasn't good. It just did not come off good at all. And that's unfortunate for some of the spots that they did do in the match. Now, the other area that I did not like, the promo segment between Eric Young and Chris Melendez. And that pretty much wasn't, it wasn't bad until the end, where Eric Young, and okay, you get the kind of leeway in there, but not really, aspect that, okay, Eric Young's a crazy guy, so he's gonna do something crazy. But challenging somebody to put their prosthetic leg on the line, no. And the aspect that he would accept the challenge to begin with as well, just no, not very good. Not liking where this is going now. And I'm probably gonna I won't shut off the program there. I'm gonna see how everything plays out, but like this promo this week, it was good until that end where it's like, I'll accept the match if you put your prosthetic leg on the line. Okay. No, not good. I did not like this segment either. But for the most part, outside of those two, pretty good show. I would say a really good show. I liked the beginning of the show. And I liked sorry. Sorry, I had to clear my throat a little bit. But I liked pretty much the rest of the show. The Eli Drake Drew Galloway match came off really good. You could tell the story between the two of them, how well it was working between the two of them. I thought it came off really good. The Revolution stuff with the man now. I had his name in my head, his real name in my head, but the guy that they call Koya in the Revolution, the storyline between the two of them was pretty good. I liked how he got the fans into it. Yeah, the dance wasn't all that great, but hey, he was sitting there getting the fans into everything. I liked what they did there in that aspect. Gail Kim and the Dollhouse, I thought was pretty good as well. And outside the aspect of Velvet Sky stalking Tara Terrell throughout the night, afterwards was a little bit weird. I think they should have probably put Brooke in that situation because she's had at least something with them. But the backstage segment where Gail, basically they capture Tara Terrell and it looks like Gail's taking her out, basically. They're going to take her off TV for a little while. They cut it before you see anything, everything like that. So interesting way of going over there and see where they actually go with everything afterwards. I feel like they should have replaced Velvet Sky with Brooke in this case, but it is what it is there. I thought the segments came off at least relatively decently, especially with Gail searching for Gail searching for Tara Terrell. I'm just stumbling over my words all day today, and it's kind of funny. But yeah, you hit Gail Kim's searching backstage for Tara Terrell. Velvet Sky finds her and leads her to Gail, where you get the ending where, okay, they cut the camera as she's about to do something to Tara Terrell, so you technically can't see it, but she's also technically taking her out of the storyline, or basically taking her out at this moment. So we'll see if they go anywhere further with this, or how long they keep Tara Terrell and the Dollhouse off of TV. So we'll see where they go with everything here. You had a backstage segment with Matt Hardy, EC3, and Tyrus. Basically, Matt Hardy saying it's like, I'm not going away as long as you have the World Heavyweight title, all that good jazz. And basically, since you had EC3 versus PJ Black for later in the night, I felt he basically said, like, Tyrus, take care of this, and it's like, okay, they just set up a quick match between both Tyrus and Matt Hardy. A decent way of doing that, and also kind of keeping him as a part of the storyline as well. So decent way of going on that aspect of everything. The last area that I wanted to talk about was pretty much the storyline around EC3 and PJ Black throughout the night. And that was kind of this area where he comes out at the beginning of the show and says, I'm not going to defend my title against a man from another company. And Jarrett's basically kind of, since he's in charge again, kind of gets this area where it's like, okay, you either defend or you get stripped of the title. And you have this little storyline going out throughout the entire show. It's like, is EC3 going to defend the title? Is he not going to defend the title? You have Jeff Jarrett going to Dixie Carter. It's like, what are we going to do here? And they basically make the decisions like, yes, you defend the title, or you you get stripped of the title, and leading everything up until like EC3's decision, going out there and actually having the match. The match between him and PJ Black was really good. I like the segments that they had throughout the entire show involving both EC3, Jeff Jarrett in there. You had, of course, a promo done by PJ Black. I'm not a big fan of his promo work, but he's really good in the ring. And the match between the two of them was really good for everything that they had going on. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat a lot. It's I don't know what's going on there, but I really did enjoy that entire storyline throughout the entire show. It led up into a really good match between EC3 and PJ Black. Really did enjoy that match. Ending the show, I felt, was actually, their indication is like, we're going with an invasion angle. We're just kind of going in a slower route at this point in time, which had Jeff Jarrett basically pitching to Dixie Carter that he should be the person in charge at all times. Everything in that aspect. This screams to an eventual full-on invasion angle between TNA and GFW, and I mean they even threw it out there on the aspect that Jeff Jarrett still does own ownership within TNA as well in there throughout that portion of the show. So you kind of got something going there. I like that segment. I even like the hesitation that Dixie Carter gives, like, do I really want to do this? He's like, okay, I've got to talk with all the board of directors, all this fun stuff. So we're leading into some kind of invasion angle, and you know, they're eventually gonna do this whole. I think they're gonna do this whole thing where, okay, somebody's going to reveal themselves as the person who attacked Drew Galloway and the person who attacked Bully Ray, and they're a part of this entire area for Jeff Jarrett to gain control over over TNA, and you know, convince Dixie Carter that he should be the one in control and everything in that aspect. So we'll see where everything goes. I did, for the most part, enjoy this show. Also, those two things I threw out at the beginning, I did enjoy the show. For the most part, this Turning Point was a really good show, with the exception of the Mr. Anderson brand match and the Chris Melendez and Eric Young segment. I thought it was really good, really well done. I thought TNA Impact this week, it kind of takes a hit because of those two, but in the end comes out as a pretty good show this week. So that is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling, and I thank you guys for watching.